The SoundPeats TruEngine 3 SE have been a highly popular release by the company SoundPeats, but now we have the SoundPeats H1 bringing something slightly different to the table. So in today's video, we're going to be comparing these two directly to each other. Now, if you're interested in checking out either of these earbuds for yourself, check out the links I'm going to leave in the description box right down below, and this will take you to the latest updated pricing. Now, before we go any further, and for full disclosure, because I like having transparency and honesty with my viewers, SoundPeats did reach out to me. They sent over these earbuds for my honest opinion and review. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the way that I receive or review these products, check out the full disclosure that I'm going to leave in the video description. So first, let's talk about their similarities. So as far as connection quality goes, so they both feature Bluetooth 5.0 and they both use aptX as their main codec, with the H1s utilizing aptX Adaptive. Now, whether or not that makes a huge difference, not sure, but it is there. They also feature AAC and SBC compatibility, so they're easily compatible with Android and iOS devices. And then last but not least, they also feature dual connect. So if you're one of those people that like to use your earbuds independently while the other one is charging, you can totally do that with either of these earbuds. Next up is going to be the battery and the case. In my experience so far, battery on the earbuds themselves is extremely similar, anywhere between 5.5 to 6 hours worth of playback time on a single charge. As far as the case is concerned, you get an additional 5 to 6 charges. And then as far as the case itself, the only difference is the color as far as I can tell. They both utilize USB-C for charging. There's no Qi charging on board. They both have the single LED light next to the charging port. They have 4 LEDs to let you know the charging inside of the case. And they're so similar that you can actually swap cases with both of these earbuds. So you can charge the H1s and the case for the 3 SEs and vice versa. So as far as the case and battery, for the most part, very, very similar. And then as far as the comfort and the build. So build quality, to me, it feels exactly the same. They're the same shape. They're essentially the same size, only a small difference where the H1s are slightly thinner. They're a little more lower profile on the back side where the stem comes out to reach into the ear tip. So they could be slightly more comfortable than the 3 SE. Now, I don't personally get ear fatigue with either of these earbuds, but it is something that people may or may not notice. So it's entirely possible that the H1s could be ever so slightly more comfortable than the 3 SEs. But overall, build, size, design, style, overall, they're 99% identical. So now let's get into the differences. So first, let's talk about the microphones and the call quality. So both of these are using Qualcomm chips, so you've got the CVC 8.0 technology on board. But before we talk about the differences here, let me play you some call quality samples back to back of both of these, and I'll let you be the judge.
So here we have the call quality test for the SoundPeats H1. So testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Indoor environment, semi-quiet, not too bad. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so here we have the call quality test for the SoundPeats TruEngine 3 SE. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Obviously indoors, semi-quiet environment. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. So here we have the SoundPeats H1 with some simulated crowd noise, like what you would have in a cafe, restaurant, something of that nature. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. So here we have some simulated crowd noise with the SoundPeats TruEngine 3 SE, similar to a cafe, restaurant, something of that nature. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. As always, you're going to have to be the judge of the call quality down in the comment section.
So now let's talk about video latency and gaming. As far as the TruEngine 3 SE, there is minimal latency when watching videos. Whether it's YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, whatever it might be, not going to be much of an issue. When it comes to gaming, if you're just doing some casual gaming, Asphalt 9, games like that, it's not going to be a problem. Where you will notice a little bit of lag and latency is going to be when you're playing games like PUBG, Fortnite, first-person shooters, things of that nature. Now, it isn't bad by any means, but it's something that we should definitely talk about. But then we have the SoundPeats H1. Now, the SoundPeats H1 in normal mode, very similar to the TruEngine 3 SE. Minimal latency when watching video, minimal latency when playing video games. But these do have a gaming mode or high performance mode. So this is something that you can activate and it's going to improve that latency to where it's almost not perceptible. So when you're watching videos, people speaking, what you hear is going to be perfectly synced. And then when you're playing games, the latency is going to be greatly reduced, especially when you're playing high performance shooting games. And this is why, as far as the connection quality, I have to give the win here to the SoundPeats H1. And now let's get into the volume. So just sheer volume of these earbuds themselves, it is very close, but there is a difference and one of them is louder than the other. So with the TruEngine 3 SE, I was going to give them an 8 out of 10. So still very loud and loud enough for most. But with the SoundPeats H1, they're easily getting an 8.5 out of 10. So this is the difference of about 1 to 2 additional clicks of volume. So where you max out the 3 SE, you can still raise the volume a little bit more on the H1s. Now, I'm not sure if that's just because of the balanced armatures or what's going on there, but it is a noticeable difference in volume level. So if you want the louder of the two, then the H1 is going to be the way to go. So for volume, the H1 is the winner. So now let's move over to the sound quality. And this is one of the main ways that these two earbuds differentiate themselves from each other, where the TruEngine 3 SE is using dual dynamic drivers. The H1 is using a hybrid design with a dynamic driver along with a balanced armature. So as far as the 3 SE, strong bass with a very nice mid-range. It's a bit forward, so it's a little more in your face, but I really do like it. It's not crazy, but it's more pushed forward. So I really do enjoy that. For vocals, for instrumental music, it's really, really nice. And very good treble, but as I said before, it does tend to roll off just a little bit. For most people, that's not going to be an issue. Most people technically wouldn't even notice it. So overall, it is a very good sound and easily one of the very best sets of true wireless earbuds that you can get for under 50 bucks. And then we move over to the H1s, and the H1s still have very strong, deep bass. That dynamic driver is delivering on these earbuds, believe you me. As far as the mid-range, it is smooth, but it is more neutral. So it is not as forward as what you get with the TruEngine 3 SE, but it is still nice, smooth, and it is there, but it's a little more scooped, if anything. Where the emphasis comes in is in the treble, and that's where that balanced armature really comes in. So it really opens up the sound. It opens up the clarity of these earbuds. Now, for some people, this may actually be a bit too much treble, and I can see that. I was doing further testing on both these earbuds, and I could see where that could possibly be too much for some people. For me, it's totally fine because I don't listen to these at max volume. But it is something that I will warn you. If you're somebody who's sensitive to treble, then you may want to go with the 3 SEs. Overall, there's much more clarity to be had here. The sound is more dynamic. So like I said, it's, the bass is a bit stronger, the treble is a bit stronger, but the mid-range is a little more subdued and relaxed. So it's really just a different type of sound. It's very difficult to really put these against each other because the signature is noticeably different when listening to both of them back to back. So let me be clear here. One is not better than the other. So let's just put that out there because they have their own strengths and weaknesses when it comes to sound quality. But if you're a gamer and you want to have the best experience when you're playing high performance games, the H1 is going to be the obvious choice, being that it has that gaming mode. But as far as sound quality is concerned, if you're somebody who doesn't want to spend 80 bucks and you like that more warm, rich, mid-range heavy kind of a sound, then the SoundPeats TruEngine 3 SE is going to be a perfect choice for you. Otherwise, if you want that deeper bass and the brighter treble and that extra clarity that you're going to get with the H1s, then obviously that's the way that you're going to want to roll. For me personally, do I feel that it's worth the extra money? For me personally, for my own ears, it is. I like that extra treble clarity personally for the kinds of music that I like to listen to. So for me, that's the choice that I would go with. Out of these two, given the choice of these two options, the SoundPeats TruEngine 3 SE and the SoundPeats H1, I'm definitely rolling with the SoundPeats H1. Now, if you're interested in checking out what my favorite earbuds are under 50 bucks, check out the video I'm gonna leave up here. And if you want to see the full video that I did on the SoundPeats H1, check out that video right up here. With that said, I'm out. Peace.